official. The Los Angeles Lakers are your 2019-2020 NBA champions. Brian H. Waters here live with our Haps News, Haps TV NBA Finals show as the Lakers have did it. So we got some in there. What up, Drew? Checking in from Los Angeles. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Drew. That's what I'm talking about. The king reigns supreme. LeBron James brings that long so weighted championship. And I know there's haters out there saying, yeah, acting like it's been forever. You're acting like it's been decades. No, but when this, I've been a Laker fan since the days of Cedric Ceballos and Nick Van Exel. It was NBA Jam. When I first got the game, Michael Jordan wasn't on there. I knew Michael Jordan was like everybody who they liked. And then Shaquille O'Neal went there. And I've been a fan. What's up, Mark? Checking in from Los Angeles as well. Jordan _ the actor says, dang. Well, guess what? This was, man, what can I say? Lakers Nation have waited so long because that's what we expect. We expect championships. Woohoo! Lakers champs. That's right, Mark. We expect championships, nothing less. And the title is back in LA. That's where it belongs. Shout out to the Miami Heat. I'm gonna give them a shout out. Credit where credit is due. They did everything. They were scrappy. They had a lot of us in Lakers Nation just like, oh man, come on now. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I was nervous. It's been, a little nerve wracking the past about almost 48 hours after Danny Green missed the game winning shot. But you know what? I know. And I had to remind, we got the king, LeBron James. We got the king, and the king delivered. And they came out there tonight and with their foot on their throats, feet on the gas, and that is why they are champions. They showed that when this Laker team gets focused and locks down on defense, they can't be beat. I'm sorry. They just can't, So let me yeah, so this is everything we've been waiting for. I put on Twitter that for since 2011, every year on NBA 2K, right? I do the draft. I do the franchise mode, or what is it, my GM. And as I do my GM, what do I do? Who do I pick? The Lakers. And when I pick the Lakers, we win championships. And like tonight wasn't a video game. It was real. Yes, Drew, LeBron's speech. Give him his respect. I don't want to hear nobody addressing him. You're going to address him as 4-time NBA champion. Winning one is hard enough. Winning one finals MVP is hard enough. But the effort, that's what happens. Shout out to Mike Patton listening. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate the congratulations. Gotta love the questions Lakers had coming into the season and answered every last one of them. You're right. Could Anthony Davis and LeBron coexist? Could they win championships? I ain't gonna say could they coexist. Everybody knew the stress, but could they win it all, right? Everybody kept saying, oh, it's going to be the Clippers. I got the Clippers winning. It's going to be the Lakers and the Clippers in the conference finals, the Battle of LA. Even Magic Johnson tweeted the Battle of LA. But guess what? That wasn't the case. Why? Because the other team in Los Angeles couldn't get it done. So then, but then, the Lakers don't have that gritty team. They're not the most talented team. Is Frank Vogel the guy? He was a failure in Orlando. Yeah, he came up short time and time again in Indiana, but he was a failure in Orlando. Is he the right choice? Is LeBron going to respect that? And guess what? They're champions of the world. To Roger, to all those who say Lakers fan base are ungrateful, they can stick it, brother. Yeah, Ronald James, we made it. We champions. Yes, we are champs. This feels great. Mad props to the Heat. Butler is dope. And yes, I really hope Jimmy Butler gets the bag. I really hope Jimmy Butler gets all the endorsements. He deserves it. Big props. He got heart, man. Anybody ever seen the Wood? He got heart. Um, let's look at the question of the role players. Can Rondo help them? Can LeBron sustain a high level? All those questions was answered, like Mike Patton just said. Rondo came out there. He doesn't like the name playoff Rondo, but you look at just watching him. He came, and I remember when they signed him. You remember last year when they signed him? Was it? No, they hadn't got Boogie yet, but it was somebody else, and it was I think they did, and it was like, well, no, they did. I don't remember. It's been, but either way, they were saying, can LeBron? He was lazy the whole season. Matreon Ostrich 08. Thanks for tuning in. But everybody was wondering, was he? How would things play out? Then last year when they couldn't sign Kawhi and they was waiting, they said, "Oh, Lakers got to get scratched." Oh yeah, Lance Stevenson, he was another one. He said he really isn't an endorsement guy, but JB will get the bag. Yeah, support his coffee. I'm pretty sure he said he's gonna have that $20 coffee. I drink coffee, but I make my own. But we'll see. Maybe it's that good. And guess what? If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to donate and sponsor me right here on Haps News. But download the app, hit the sponsor button, support me. But just this, what a night. You think about everything the Lakers have been through this year. And I remember when Kobe died and LeBron went out there and gave his speech. And I thought about, wow, this guy, he don't have to, getting us through this, getting Lakers Nation through that is tough. Because when you think about everything, you just lost a legend. Coops. All that say it ain't six. Shaking my head. Shout out to my boy Calvin. Tristan Morris. This for the Mamba. Yes, this is for Mamba. All those, we'll just watch it and having to do that. And LeBron James really had to be the leader and he wrote a speech in that first game back where they had the flowers, they had Kobe's his numbers all over the place. Usher was singing, and it was that kind of a memorial, a basketball memorial for him. And they lost to the Blazers. Damian Lillard went off, and he did a Kobe-like thing. That was his way of honoring Kobe. But the whole league grieved. I get that. The whole entire league grieved. Kobe inspired so many. But this franchise, to walk in the same locker room, to walk in the same locker room, to walk on the same court, to be held to the standard, to see not one, but two numbers in the Raptors retire of Kobe's. Like Glenwood Thomas, my brother says, put some respect on his name. Glenn, download the app. My man Daniel Artest in the building. Daniel says, he lighted up with the fire emoji. And I'm gonna invite Daniel in here. Let's see if he want to jump on. It's just, man, like it's just so much. I was miffed that Rob Pelinka got no votes. Yeah. Martian Ostrich always says, I know nothing about basketball. Yeah, Rob Pelinka, no votes. Just disrespect. The number one seed. I think when people look at executive of the year, they think about the big names, not so much like the key pieces. You look at this team. This is the type of team that I think you should put together. Yeah, Mike, download the app, man. Download the app. We could jump on and chop it up right here. We could talk some other sports. I know you down there, you cover the Tennessee Titans and all that, but we could definitely talk right here on Haps. But just what a long, exhausting year. And for these players, shout out to every NBA player for their fight for social justice. No, they will not shut up and dribble because they understand they have a voice. And these players these kids look up to them. You know what I mean? These kids look up to them. You know, you have a champion to win. No, you don't. I mean, everybody, the COVID Titans, everybody spends money in free agency. Name a team that didn't. The Warriors did. When they was winning championships, they spent money in free agency. Might not have spent big money all the time. I mean, they did bring Kevin Durant, but they may have not spent big money all the time, but everybody spends money in free agency. So it's just a matter of who else, but put some respect on LeBron James' name, folks. This guy comes in, has the biggest expectations of anybody, the chosen one, the king. And then as he does this, he lives up to the hype. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard to get one championship. Think about Interzone says good sacrifice. You think about your college basketball players that was so good, and you're like, man, I can't wait till they get to the league. I can't wait. And then they come and they aren't as good. LeBron had the Sports Illustrated magazines. He had so much. And he was deemed the chosen one. And what's the worst thing you can say about him? The worst thing you can really say is that he did a decision live on TV. Live on TV. He did a decision. That's the worst thing. So, it's like, put some respect on his name. It's the first Lakers championship 2010. Funny story. I was just thinking about this. Shout out to my god brother Michael, who was over here. Mike is a huge Celtics fan. And he was sitting there watching it. He was just like, yeah, y'all about to do it. And so he left about 4 minutes later. He said, what if I get in the car and get home and say, the Heat comes back? No, brother. But I was thinking, I said, man, I remember I cut Facebook videos back in 2010. And he told me the other day, he said, yeah, because it comes up in my memories because I tagged everybody. But, tonight, we are champions of the world. Kobe smiling. Shout out to my boy Matt Reichel. Kobe smiling. Fireworks going off and car alarms in LA. My boy Sean says, "Behold the King of Kings." Yeah, shout out to cue the Triple H theme music, or I should say alternative theme music on that one. But man, just what an incredible game. That's how you close it out. They went out there, didn't play around, proved why they are champions. Xavier Ford, shout out to my boy X, jumping in and said, put some respect on his name. Shark says, for Kobe and Gianna. They had to. Like Kobe told y'all, LeBron is a part of Laker Nation now. So we're going to respect him. He's a part of Laker Nation. He's a part of us, So let's respect him. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to do, folks. Is we finally got a king, a champion. The Lakers tried it. They tried to build through the draft. Shout out to my boy Glenn Thomas jumping in. They tried to build through the draft. It just didn't work. That's not the Laker way. You go back in history. That's not what they do. They build. They spend money in free agency. And look, this is championship town. Those, making money, that's going to happen. But Jeanie Buss, and shout out to Jeanie Buss. You got to give a shout out to Jeanie Buss. A woman in sports, doing her thing, winning a championship. This is the first championship, folks, without Dr. Buss. This is the first championship without Dr. Buss. And like I said, she just went out there and made decisions. She had to fire her brother and Mitch Kupchak. You know how hard it is to fire your brother or your sister? Shoot, I love my sister. I wouldn't want to have to fire her. All three of them. Wouldn't want to have to fire none of them. None of them. I have friends who are close to me like my brothers and my sisters. Wouldn't want to have to fire none of them. But she had to fire her brother. And she made it work. And now she is once again a champion. A championship owner of the team. Like I said, LeBron James, the first player to win in NBA history to win a Finals MVP with 3 different franchises. And I thought about something. I said, you know what? This dude really wins it on the second opportunity. The second year in, right? You go back to the Heat. They lost the first year, he won the second one. Cavs lost the first year, won the second one. And now, now they finally, they did it. So they the first year with the Lakers, he was out, and this year he's in. So Lakers are the champions of the world, man. It's crazy. A couple years ago, people were telling her to sell the team, and then she got heat when Magic quit. Yes. How about that, Glenn? Good point. Good point. She definitely, people thought, oh, Jeannie's crazy, all that stuff. People was talking. And let me see. People was talking all that smack. And now she is a champion, standing above everybody. Finally. Man, this is great. I'm so excited. Magic sold them out. But you saw the picture, her and Magic, right? They like brothers and sisters. Everybody knew they was good, man. They all good. Like they good. Trust me. And I'm gonna look up because I know Magic done tweeted something. If not, he's celebrating. Well, he tweeted something. 14 tweets in the last 12 hours. Lakers took care of business, eyeballing the Dodgers. Now I'm an Orioles fan. Like I said, I'm not going to proclaim I'm born in LA, but the Dodgers are a team, are my National League team. When the Orioles not in it, that's what I root for because they have my favorite pitcher in Clayton Kershaw. So it would be sweet to see both of them win. Let's see. Frank Vogel, I'll look at that later. Just seeing Jason Kidd gets another ring. Dwight Howard. Can we talk about Dwight Howard tonight? Can we talk about Dwight Howard? I hear you on them being good, but he ain't make them look good. No, of course, but whatever. Dwight Howard comes in a decade, almost in 2012, 2013, after free agency. Rob Lowe and Pelinka, have you ever seen them in the same place before? Good query. We wanted Dwight Howard to be where Anthony Davis was. Kobe and Howard was supposed to be what LeBron and AD was. But it didn't gel. It didn't work. Now, all of a sudden, Dwight Howard is a champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, Hall of Fame career, all the defensive MVPs and, Hall of Fame career. But tonight, he's a champion of the world. And somebody add Tyler Hero to that group. Damian Lillard started doing the Oakland dance. Russ started saying, making a mockery. Jamal Murray started dancing. Tyler Hero made faces. And guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4. They all fell to the king, LeBron James. Giannis' brother gets a ring before him. Good point, Glenn. Giannis' brother gets a ring before him. Man, oh man. AD winning your first championship. This is crazy. And the Lakers are now tied with the rival Celtics. 17 champions. 17 championships. They're going to lowball him now, pressure him to take a long-term deal. Oh, that's another tweet. I definitely want to, before I get back into basketball talk, want to offer my well wishes to Dak Prescott. I saw that he was hurt today. You never want to see that happen to a player, and I think it's blasphemy that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys organization did not offer him a decent contract. Quite frankly, I think they ought to owe him. They ought to go and sign him, give him the bag for all that he did. You know, what else could he have done? What else could he have done to prove that he was deserving? And then he goes out there and gets hurt. This is why players take control of their situations, folks. Right there, a franchise tag in football, and the guy's hurt. But Shark says the Heat will have their time, but to quote John Cena, the champs are here, and it's our time now. Yes, it is the Lakers' time now. Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody say nothing about Kawhi. The king is on his throne, and he's standing on his throne. I mean, is LeBron James not still in his prime or what? Still proving he's the best in the world. 17 years in. 17 years in. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not. and like I said, I take you back to July 1st. I take you back to, there's a LeBron hater in the chat saying you think the refs are going to get a trophy for the bubble as well. You breathe on LeBron foul, but there's an asterisk next to it. Is there going to be no asterisk? Are you putting, and I'm going to use Glenn's terminology, are you putting an asterisk on Tim Duncan's first championship? It was during the strike season. No. This was hard. Mark Jackson said this was probably the hardest one to get because of everything, all the circumstances going on. Mike Patton, I was so happy for Dwight Howard, and he humbled himself and fit his role, and now he's going to get paid and extend his career. You look at, if you remember, it was either Dwight or Joakim Noah, and I know some people wanted Noah. I was like, and I still and I wish we could have got to see Kobe do, the alley-oop. I really wish Kobe was here to celebrate this, y'all. Obviously, wish he was still here, but definitely just imagine how he would be ecstatic for this team. I mean, you think back to some of the things when they were down, he probably would have got on them, but he did say he stayed out of the way if they asked for advice. But I'm pretty sure they would have went to advice. LeBron probably said, that was his big brother. And so, Xavier Ford says they claim the king was washed. They claimed him a washed king. Thumbs down. Right. How you going to say he was washed, man? To that LeBron hater, sit down and shut up. All right. LeBron makes champions wherever he goes. Yeah, you're right, Mark. I mean, 3 different franchises. 3 different franchises, and all of them was winning the championship. That's what I said July 1st when the press release came out from Clutch Sports, and it said LeBron James agrees to a 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. I said, "Oh, we getting one. We getting one. Let's go. We are back on top." This was arguably the hardest championship. Mike Patton says, "Absolutely. It was tough." Rock Boys. Lakers lucky Miami weren't at full strength. Yeah, okay. Glenn says, wish DeMarcus Cousins was on the team. Glenn, I think he would get a ring, though. I know Avery Bradley's going to get a ring. But DeMarcus was released it was shortly after he was on All the Smoke podcast. And I remember he said, man, y'all trying to get me fired. So he might, I don't know. Maybe he do. I do wish he was on the team, too. He just got hurt at the wrong time. Miami also ate your lunch. But, dude, so great to share this moment with you and everyone. Yes, absolutely, Mark. I had committed to doing this broadcast after every game. And I said, Game 5 was tough, and I ain't going to say I slept, but it was tough because as I sat there watching, I mean, just the, Saturday, you just want to fast forward and get going again. And I was like, man, come on. They're going to do it. The Lakers are going to do it. Stop psyching yourself. And I watched videos yesterday, right? I watched a lot of 3-1 leads that turned to 3-2 leads with the champions winning. But one game in particular I watched when Kobe took over in overtime to put the Lakers up 3-1 against the Pacers. Watch the finish to that. Reggie Miller misses the shot. So happy LeBron got MVP because he was cheated for season MVP. Absolutely. I believe they go by numbers, but I do think LeBron is the most valuable player on the team. But I watched Reggie Miller hit the shot. He missed the shot. Lakers was up 3-1. And I kept reminding myself, okay, yeah, they lost and they actually got blown out in game 5. They went back to Los Angeles and won. I thought about Michael Jordan when he missed the shot, game 5. And it was the similar situation because the Bulls were essentially ready to celebrate. And one of the things the announcer says, rip up your headlines. Because there wouldn't be a celebration in Chicago where they could have won it on the floor. The Bulls was up 3-1 and they lost. That game 5, going to game 6, we all know the story. Chicago with the lead. Michael Jordan hits the game-winning shot. Game over. So I thought about those. Then I thought about the one I didn't like. When the Lakers were down 3-1 and Kobe willed them back to 3-2. And then suddenly the Celtics just blew them out. And I said, the Lakers going to be okay. And then you start reading stuff. And you see people saying, oh, but you know what? The Lakers, if they're going to be scared, they go game 5, all that. And they came out there, and it was right that first quarter. When they got to that point where they were up by 10, I said, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think the only thing is LeBron, he's got the Midas touch from Shark. I think the only thing that's really just sucks is the fact that we don't get an opportunity, that this didn't happen in the Staples Center. Now, it would have happened in Miami, even though you could make an argument that had that, so many different things could have went differently. But in the end, this was my prediction that the Lakers would end 2019-2020 season as NBA champions. And it happened. This is real, folks. It's sports writers and journalists who vote for season MVP. They don't like LeBron. Maybe not. I don't think so. I mean, I know everybody has like their difference, and it's easy to beat up on journalists. I just don't think so. That's the case. Also, on this note, season was a total of 71, and regular season is 82 before playoffs and travel with home and away crowd factor. Absolutely right, dang shake. But it like I said, I still predicted LeBron James was going to do exactly what he did, and that was bring the title back to Los Angeles. He did it. He did it. And they said that, that was the goal. And you really look at everything, and I'm not saying this was because of the virus, but that was the goal. The goal was to bring a championship. He knew that's why they signed him. And I was happy that this happened tonight. You don't want them to go game 7. I wonder if LeBron still gives up his number to AD like he planned before the season to do. Like he planned to do. I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you why. I think they're gonna look at it. Well, this is championship numbers, but I honestly think both of those numbers will be in the Lakers rafters. You at this point, there's no way LeBron's 23 isn't retired in Los Angeles. He won the finals and he won the finals MVP. He is good in their book. So, and shout out to the Heat. They ran out of gas though, folks. There's no other way to look at it. They ran out of gas, and they did everything they could. They did an excellent job going out there, but sometimes you just run out, and that's exactly what happened. They ran out of gas. They have nothing to hold their head. I mean, nobody expected them to be there. Now, I do wonder what's going to happen with them next year. I'm not ready to talk about the Lakers next year, to be honest with you. But I do wonder what's going to happen with the Heat next year. Because will they be – I was talking to my godbrother about this. Will they be a number 1 seed? Or will they be a number 2? Will they be a number 4? Y'all let me know. What do y'all think? Are they a top seed? Are they a team that you believe can be back? Or was this that wow factor? Will they make the necessary adjustments? You know, so we shall see. If you ain't doing so, make sure you follow me. Download the Hap News app. Make sure you follow me on here. I will be bringing some more sports content. Um, I am a podcaster. I host the Wrestling Realm. It's Break It Down with Brian H. So make sure you check out that podcast. Make sure you also check out Breaking Through the Glass Ceilings. Erica Fernandez was this week's guest. She is also a podcaster, and she covers a lot of New York teams, especially the Knicks. So make sure you check that episode out. You can get all these podcasts on all podcast platforms. Heat will be a 4th seed next year. That's what Mike Patton is guessing. That would be interesting. But you got to look at Bam and Tyler Hero are going to get better. Jimmy Butler's in his prime, but those guys haven't hit their prime yet. They're going to get better. We'll see what type of year we get out of Duncan Robinson. But like I said, I know they were tired, beat, exhausted, and the Lakers smelt blood. And that's what they did. They brought the championship home. They brought the championship home as they were like a shark who smells blood, and in Mortal Kombat, they say, finish him. And Jimmy Butler is the reason, Shark, that this wasn't a sweep. And you knew it. They were too good to get swept. And Shark said that when we talked offline a while ago. He said, they're too good to get swept. And Jimmy Butler just out there. I can give him his props now. Like I said, I just really hope he gets the bag. I hope that, I know the city of Miami is going to embrace him, but whether it's restaurants or something, like that guy deserves everything positive coming his way. It would have been sweet though if this was against the Celtics, just to see them. But they proved that they weren't ready. Let's just call it for what it is. They proved they were not ready to be on the biggest stage of them all. Says the Heat just need another piece. Will Giannis go there? I know that's a big question. Will Giannis go to Miami? But shout out to all those haters that said LeBron James would not bring a championship to Los Angeles. Now, of course, they're going to say it was the bubble factor or the injuries, but guess what? My boy Glenn Thomas, my big bro, says you play who's on your schedule. That's a great point. You can't change that. You play who's on your schedule. So, but people going to say that. They're going to say that LeBron had an easy way. Skip Bayless says it all the time. I don't think so. No matter what, because these teams did not lay down. The Lakers had to fight. You go back to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, the first game was like, oh, this might be a sweep. I even said I thought it could be a sweep, but it wasn't. They went out there, Denver went out there, and they got beat. Then you look at the NBA Finals. It was tough. With the exceptions of game 1, 2, and 6, it was tough. 3, 4, and 5, and the Lakers were 1 and 2 in those games. And I do think that I thought they got ready. They was ready for a tough matchup tonight, and they knew they had to bring their A game. And I hope that people can stop with this disrespect of Danny Green. I know people's out there threatening him. Sports ain't that serious. If you want to get that serious about sports, we know it's one reason. Most of us know is, probably more than likely one reason you're doing that, and that's because you put money on the game. Stop it. If you can't handle it, stop betting. They always say gamble responsibly, drink responsibly. If you can't handle it, stop it. It's that simple. If they trade for Greek Freak, then that means Bam or Tyler Hero goes, and that ain't good. Well, goes or both go, and that ain't good. We'll see. Giannis, I don't think he signed his. Maybe he did. Did he sign his contract? I don't think so. Shark says Skip Bayless is a punk, a hack and a punk. I'm not going. Me. I told him before. I'm not going to bash Skip. I actually like Skip. I just think that I think he feels that it's money. No, I'm not going to say I think somebody feels, but I'll just say that those takes are unnecessary, and that's why a lot of veterans in the game hate that style of journalism where you do have people going back and forth and almost just, it's always opinion heavy and it's more debate format, breaking one down to build somebody else up. And I don't think you have to do that. I know as a huge Kobe Bryant fan, I couldn't enjoy the Allen Iverson days because I spent more time pushing up Kobe. And then in the and I said as a Ravens fan, I'm not going to do that with Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to respect his greatness. So, and that's what I had to be careful with Jimmy Butler because you get in the moment, but I said, I'll give him his props after the clock strikes 0-0-0, and the Lakers are the 2020 champions. And that's what I did. Skip is unreasonable to LeBron. Xavier says, absolutely. He is. He just is. It is what it is. But, folks, I'm going to get ready. Let me show anybody. Yeah, I'm going to get ready, get out of here. Celebrate responsibly, but celebrate because the Los Angeles Lakers are the 2019-2020 NBA champions. Kobe, we did it for you. Laker Nation. Yes, this is the Kobe number 8 jersey. So you can see that I didn't just hop on the bandwagon when LeBron got here. So, but man, and I I thought about this. Look at this greatness on these covers. These 2K covers. Kobe and LeBron. And you remember, I think it was Young G's had a song that said Kobe, LeBron. Now, of course, who would ever thought LeBron was going to be coming to the Lakers? And then, you just never thought that would happen. I made it happen on video games. And I remember when he made the choice to go back to Cleveland. But who would have ever thought? But it's true, folks. The Los Angeles Lakers are your 2020 NBA champions. Goodbye and good night. Make sure you follow me at Brian H. Waters on all platforms.